Horror movies have a way of tapping into our deepest fears, making us question what's real and what's just a product of our imagination. The thrill of being scared is a rush like no other, and that's why we keep coming back for more. Horror is a genre that resonates deeply with audiences, and it's because these moments are often a reflection of our own darkest fears. The fear of the unknown, the fear of death, the fear of being alone, the fear of spiders. These are all universal fears that horror movies tap into. By exploring these fears, horror movies provide a safe space for us to confront and process our emotions. The best horror movies are the ones that leave a lasting impact, haunting our dreams and lingering in our minds long after the credits roll. These movies have a way of getting under our skin, making us uncomfortable and uneasy. But it's this feeling of unease that makes horror movies so compelling, so addictive. We can't look away, even when we want to. The power of horror lies in its ability to evoke strong emotions, to make us feel something deeply. Whether if it's fear, anxiety, or unease, horror movies have a way of tapping into our emotional psyche. By exploring the darker side of human nature, horror movies provide a unique perspective on the world, one that's both fascinating and terrifying. Horror as a genre has a rich history dating back to the early days of cinema, from the classic monsters of Universal to the modern day slashers. Horror has evolved over time, adapting to changing societal fears and anxieties. The genre has also become more sophisticated, with filmmakers using psychological techniques to create a sense of unease and tension. The key to a good horror movie is creating a sense of uncertainty, making the audience question what's real and what's not. I offer A Nightmare on Elm Street as an example. The use of symbolism and metaphor is also a powerful tool in horror movies. This technique is often used to explore themes such as trauma, grief, or even mental illness, adding depth and complexity to the story. One of the most iconic horror movie moments is the shower scene from Psycho. The sudden, brutal murder of Marion Crane is a masterclass in suspense and shock. The use of quick cuts and unsettling music creates a sense of chaos and confusion, making the audience feel like they're experiencing the horror firsthand. The Exorcist is another classic horror movie that still sends shivers down our spines. The Possession of Reagan is a terrifying portrayal of the supernatural, with the iconic head-spinning scene becoming a cultural reference point. The movie's use of atmospheric tension and creepy sound design make it a must-see for horror fans. The Shining is also a horror movie that's more atmospheric than outright scary. The slow burning tension and sense of isolation creates a sense of unease, making the audience feel like they're trapped in the Overlook Hotel. The movie's use of long takes and eerie sound design adds to the whole sense of claustrophobia, making it a classic of the genre. Get Out is a modern horror movie that uses social commentary to create a sense of unease. The movie's exploration of racism and identity is both thought-provoking and terrifying, with the use of symbolism and metaphor adding depth to the story. The movie's climax is both shocking and disturbing, making it a standout in the horror genre. The Babadook is a horror movie that explores themes of grief and mental illness. The movie's use of atmospheric tension and creepy sound design creates a sense of unease, making the audience feel like they're experiencing the horror firsthand. Now, the Babadook itself is a terrifying creature, symbolizing the monster that grief can become. A Quiet Place is a horror movie that uses silence to create a sense of tension. The movie's world is one where monsters that hunt by sound have taken over, making every creak and groan a potential threat. The use of sign language and subtle acting creates a sense of intimacy, making the audience feel like they're part of the family's desperate struggle to survive. Halloween is a horror movie that's become a cultural phenomenon. The movie's use of suspense and atmospheric tension creates a sense of unease, making the audience feel like that they're being stalked by Michael Myers. The movie's iconic score and mask have become synonymous with horror, making it a must-see for fans of the genre and especially the slashers. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a horror movie that's graphic and disturbing. The movie's use of gore and violence creates a sense of shock and disgust, making the audience feel like they're witnessing something truly horrific. The movie's themes of survival and desperation add to the sense of tension, making it a classic of the genre. The Silence of the Lambs is a horror movie that's more psychological than outright scary. The movie's use of suspense and atmospheric tension creates a sense of unease, making the audience feel like they're trapped in a world of serial killers and FBI agents. The movie's iconic performances and themes of obsession and desire make it a must-see for the horror fans. Creating horror that remains fresh and unsettling is a challenge that many filmmakers face. With the market becoming increasingly saturated, it's harder to create horror that truly scares. However, by tapping into our deep-seated fears and anxieties, horror movies can continue to evolve and adapt, providing a unique perspective on the world. The key to creating effective horror is to understand what scares us, what scares the audience. By exploring the psychological aspects of horror, filmmakers can create a sense of tension and suspense, making the audience feel like they're trapped in a world of horror. The ongoing efforts to push boundaries in the genre are what makes horror films so exciting, and I give you the terrifying movies as an example. By exploring new themes and techniques, horror movies can continue to evolve and adapt, providing a unique perspective on the world. In conclusion, horror movie moments have a lasting impact on culture and individual psyche. By exploring our deepest fears and anxieties, horror movies can provide a unique perspective on the world, one that's both fascinating and terrifying, as I said earlier. Now, the power of horror lies in its ability to evoke strong emotions, making us feel something deeply. The exploration of horror movies is a journey into the darker side of human nature. By exploring the psychological aspects of the horror, we can gain a deeper understanding of what scares us and why. Horror movies have a way of staying with us long after the credits roll. I mean, not always, but sometimes you do get one of those rare horror films that just really sticks with you. The iconic moments, the terrifying creatures, and the sense of unease all linger in our minds, making us feel like we're still experiencing the horror. I, for one, absolutely love horror, and I love how it is evolving. So guys, if you're a fan of horror, I encourage you to share your own favorite horror movie moments in the comments box below. Whether if it's a classic movie or a modern day scare, horror is a genre that's all about community and shared experience. So don't be afraid to share your own fears and anxieties, and let's dive into the world of horror together. For example, I'll go first. I'm terrified of spiders. Check out some of my other videos on horror analysis or movie breakdowns, and even trailer reactions where I explore the techniques used to create a sense of unease and tension in the world of horror. From the use of suspense to the power of symbolism, I will be diving into the world of horror and exploring what makes it so thrilling. So guys, please make sure you have hit that subscribe button. Okay then guys, that is a wrap. Thank you all for watching today. I will see you all in my next video.